Good afternoon, lovely friends. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. You are joining me on a gorgeous, gorgeous day at the beginning of March. It's so beautiful. The difference it makes is amazing. There is real warmth in the sun today. When you're in the sun, in the shade, still quite chilly. So let's go and have a look around the garden at the beginning of March. The changes are quite subtle, and I always think there's this thing sort of March and April, the changes are happening, but in some ways it's like the last look at last year's garden. It still looks like last year's garden to a great degree, but the changes are happening, and they're big changes. We're going to be full steam ahead in the next few weeks. So, never mind the next few weeks. Let's see where we're at today. Put your sun hat on. It's gorgeous out there. Oh, it's such a beautifully bright and still day today. Of course, somebody somewhere is building, so I have to ignore a few noises. Right, it's obvious where some of the jobs need doing. I need to make my plot a number sign. I'm going to have a big session. You see, this is the last of the bean. I'm going to have a big pruning session, cutting back, tidying up. Down here, you can see amongst the foliage, amongst the poached eggs, these are some tulips coming up. And what I've been keeping a really close eye on, but it's too soon to see yet, down here, to see if my tree lily survived. Oh, fingers firmly crossed. No signs yet. Actually, I think I might have to look back in notes to see in previous years when I've had the first signs of shoots. All of the calendula edging this bed, that all got killed off in the frost. Fine, it's going to come out and get chopped up, but it has done me a bit of favour in terms of soil protection over the winter. Finally, the last of the collie leaves, that's the stalk things chopping up. I had the last of the collie leaves, and I've still got a few bits of kale, which is great because I'm really getting low on my brassica greens now. But not to worry, as always, there are other things to eat in the garden. No change in any of these beds. Oh, you will have seen the other day, it's so bright, my shadow is really strong today. Look at that for a shadow. I've got pinhead. You will have seen the other day. Hello, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Making the most of a gorgeous day. I'll catch up with you later, Chuck. These two beds will be my potato beds. This will be main crops, this will be salads. The reason for doing it that way round is I want the salads out first. Well, they come out first anyway, but I want to, as soon as they're out, to quickly get in what's in that bed this year, purple sprouting. So I moved most of the horse poo the other day. There's a little bit left there, but that's fine. The spods going in will enjoy it. So these two beds in the next couple of weeks or so, these need to be opened up, trenched, ready for the spods, ready for action again after October, November, December, January, February, after 5 months fallow since the last of the squash came out. The garlic are looking considerably more perky after their feed. They're now getting a bit of sunshine too, mulched with all the leaves. Yeah, they're looking lovely. Oh, especially in this light today. Isn't it a beautiful shade of green? So vivid, so bright, so alive. Oh, so in love with garlic. But then, goodness me, I'm going to come the other way. Wait till you see the purple sprouting. I'm going to come the other side because of the brightness of the sun, but I was going to harvest yesterday afternoon and I thought, no, I'll do it today because I wanted you to see. Isn't this a gorgeous sight? Absolutely beautiful, and tons of it. This head here that's a bit more spread, as you can see, I've had the top out of that already, so they're all side shoots now. But yeah, these are looking fantastic. They're looking really, really well. Oh, just the colour, oh, it gets me every year. Isn't that a beauty? So one of the reasons, well, apart from the fact that I absolutely love it as a vegetable, one of the absolute main reasons I grow it is because at this time of year, when all the other brassicas are either eaten or dying back, then I have this. The florets, the sprouts themselves are the delicacy. But you know what? If I get desperate, I will eat the leaves too. There are still leaves to be had though. I've still got some chard. And at the far end, I've still got some perpetual spinach. This light's a bit tricky today. I tell you what, let me just come back this way, otherwise I've got shadow issues. That's the little random purple sprouting that went in really late, but I wanted to give it a chance, and it's rewarding me. So yeah, there's plenty of there's plenty of leafage to eat. Perpetual spinach, and like I said, the chard. The last of the beetroot which were here have gone. These little frisee lettuce seedlings, well, they're not really doing anything. They're not in the way. I'll leave them, see if they do something. Behind them are the very late sowing of broad beans, so these were November. But you can see, you know, they've gone away more slowly than the ones in my main broad bean bed, which I'll show you in a second. So they've definitely gone away more slowly, but they're really sturdy looking little plants. So this is what I was saying at the time when I did them so late. I wouldn't normally, I think it was about the middle of November, I wouldn't normally try and start anything then. This was purely an experiment to tempt the mice. They didn't want them, so they've grown. And it just shows that, you know, it's not necessarily too late. And, you know, they'll have a little bit of a head start on anything that I would have been sowing last month or this month. Yay! Getting more areas covered. This had the other random cabbages in, which I took out, stripped off what was edible, chopped the rest up, and it's all the foliage and stuff is under there. I wanted to get this space covered because last year what happened in March was we had so much sunshine and warmth, all the grounds just baked solid, and all the grounds, all the beds, and putting the cardboard on, I'm hoping to just retain a bit of moisture down there so that when it does come time for planting, I'll be able to get a trowel in there to plant a plant or a seed rather than my pickaxe to have a go at concrete. This you will have seen the other day as well. That's the parsnips out. You can see it's quite mounded up. That's all. Oh, it was all sorts of odds and ends of brassica leaves that were dying back, and just bits and bobs that have been putting in the compost bin over winter. Not much, you know, a few trimmings and scraps from the kitchen, but yeah, that's all gone on there. It probably won't have all rotted down by the time I come to plant this bed, sow this bed. Onion sets. So yeah, any that hasn't completely rotted down, I'll just scratch away in order to be able to get my onion sets in, and either add it to the compost or, you know, use it for covering any bare ground. It's nice to get the nets off everything. So this lot of brassicas, we're right at the end. They really didn't come to much. They were far too late going in, far too damaged by the pigeons. But look, it is trying to give me something to eat. So yes, there are a few nibbles to be had. And now what I'll do, wow, I mean, this ground was really heavily mulched There was 2 inches, if not more, of compost on here. It's all disappeared. Great. The worms have been busy. Yeah, these will stay. And over the next few weeks, they will all start sprouting and flowering. I've got a little bit left on the Cavalloneros. The sprouts, one can, let me show you in here. You can eat the sprouts. They're rather lovely. So there is a bit more left here to eat, but at this stage in the year I now start to leave the brassicas for the bees, because as they flower it's a fantastic source of early food for the bees. So yeah, in another, oh gosh, 3-4 weeks this will all be flowering and covered in bees. And again, these poor little cabbages. But you know, again, there's bits and bobs of feed in there for me. This will be not vertical, this will be horizontal squash this year. So when I get some more horse poo, it's going to go here. The celery is looking very tired. I'm still getting harvests from it, but I'm definitely getting to the stage now where, yes, save one for my seed, and this will be getting planted with horizontal squash as well. The remaining fennel I had in here, oh, they didn't like the snow and the frost, so I just pulled them all out, chopped up and used what I could. But behind is the little row of Mont Blanc seedlings that Mark gave me. They haven't changed, have they? Have they grown at all? Oh, I'm not sure. But again, you know, let me step this way again. They're not in the way. The squash, the horizontal squash, won't be going in here until the beginning of June. So listen up, you little ones. You've got 2 more months left. You need to grow. 3 months. What am I talking about? Oh, it is going to start taking off soon. Last year this was horizontal squash. This year it will be vertical. So yeah, try and get some horse poo in here. I'm thinking of this corner for my Cove Trontura from Paul. The rose bush needs pruning. That's my next job, I think. And then this next bed, this will also be vertical squash, and you can see I've spread out the horse poo. Oh, I'm so happy to have some horse poo. It's funny, the things that make us happy, isn't it? What would be in this bed? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, maybe some horizontal squash. This will be the Coco de Pampo, so that's ages away from being tackled as a bed. Now let's have a look at the broad beans. So the covers are off. They're going to have a nice sun bath today, but this is definitely something to bear in mind. But because we've got these clear skies, there's no cloud cover at all, it does mean the temperature in the evening is going to drop quite a bit. We could even get frost. So let them enjoy their little sun bath now. Then before I go home, I probably will cover them again. I don't want to lose them at this stage. Can you see the difference? So these 2 rows were direct sown. These 2 rows were self-sown and then transplanted. I think the difference is quite obvious. I think the self-sown ones have struggled to stand upright. I think they're a little bit leggier. I would always prefer, in the garden anyway, does that give you a better idea? I would always prefer to direct sow, just because it saves so much time and faff later on. And the reason, I've always direct sown my broad beans. And the reason I did the self-sown ones this year was because last year, as in the autumn of 2019, I direct sowed and I lost pretty much the lot to mice. So my self-sown ones were a backup. But yeah, I think that's really quite a staggering difference, isn't it? They're definitely more perky, more upright, more compact than their little friends next door. Oh, I should just say as well, mega shadow issues today because it's so beautifully bright. These were the remnants of the self-sown broad beans. They've been out on their own all winter, zero protection. Yeah, they're doing okay. I don't think they'll come to anything, I'm not sure. But, well, I wasn't really expecting them to. It was just I'll stick them in and see what happens. You never know. But yeah, I think it's really quite, this difference is really quite stark. I mean, look in here. You can see, can't you, how they're sort of flopping over. Whereas their little comrades there, I don't know if you can see because of the light. Maybe that's a better, that's a better shot, isn't it? Yes, so now looking at them, these 2 rows on the right, direct sown, 2 rows on the left, self-sown and transplanted. The ones on the right, I mean, it's really obvious and clear, isn't it? More bushy, more sturdy, more upright. More pods, hopefully. Oh, and look, I just saw. Oh, what a happy, happy sight. Look. My first flowers are coming. And that means if my first flowers are coming, my first pods will be coming. Oh yes, happy, happy days. And this is great as well. This is what I was saying about where I'm going to leave any of those brassicas in to flower for the bees. They'll be bright yellow. They'll attract the bees in. So obviously I want to feed the bees anyway, but once they come in here, hopefully they'll then spot all the broad bean flowers and they'll get their busy fairy little bodies in here and pollinate this lot too. Oh, that's made me so happy. Yay! Okay, right, let's go and have a quick look in the cold frame, see how my peas and sweet peas are doing. Again, this has been a bit of an open and shut case. The peas are looking great. I might even start to think, yeah, I'm going to think about transplanting. I need to leave the cold frame open, it's getting too warm in there. When shall I transplant? Not sure. Next couple of weeks or so. And next door to them, let's have the tool off so we can see. Oopla. Oh, little sweet peas. They're coming. Oh my goodness, the warmth coming out of this. Yeah, I definitely need to leave this off. Oh, that's a happy sight. Brilliant. Around the back of the cold frame. How is my Taunton Dean doing? Oh, it's beginning to compete with the Love in a Mist. I might have a few of these out. But, oh, it's had a couple of nibbles. It should be okay though. Yay. Okay, what's on the deck? Oh yes, so the new flower bed. Ooh, I've got a few bits to add to it. Hooray, oh look, this rhubarb is starting. Oh, isn't it a joy? It's such a joy to see all this life coming back. The blueberries absolutely chock full of buds. They're also on the pruning list. My cuttings corner, there's some Taunton Deans for friends. A bit of honeysuckle at the back. That's the roses, the rose cuttings from Paul and the Cove Trontuda from Paul. Oh, so much fun to be had. The this pot, this terracotta trough. Look, completely sheared off. I mean, it's been out so many winters. Not to worry, I'll bodge it together. But the sedums in here, they're looking lush and lovely, surrounded by freesias. And then just in front, and I let them do this every year, this is chamomile that is self-seeded. Pretty wee things. Again, I just love this beautiful, vibrant first green of the year. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, standing up. Don't like being bent. And more freesias. They definitely haven't all come up. Maybe some want to come up next year, but I'm definitely going to have a few. Lovely. The marjoram. Another pruning job. Oh, I'm looking forward to this actually. There's a lot of kind of pruning, snipping, tidying to be done. Lovely, quiet, gentle work. This is where I'm going to put the peas this year so they can grow up through the obelisk. I might pop a couple in direct as well, see how they do, because I did have a few left over when I was sowing. So it'd be interesting to compare how direct sown ones do with the ones that are in the cold frame. Well, this needs a chunk of work in the next few days. Again, hyssop pruning, cut back the tansy, prune the French lavenders. Generally just a bit of a tidy up. This crocus, the other day I was saying, is it the Battellini? No, it's definitely not the Battellini. This is Crocus grandiflora. It's past its best now, but it's got some friends coming up. Over here, sorry, into the dark sun, no sign of the Battellini yet. In terms of other spring bulbs, just coming back to the top end of the herb bed, that is the Sicilian garlic. Down here, these are the Leucodium aestivum that I did have at the other end of the cold frame where the Taunton Dean is. They didn't come to anything. When I was digging out to put the Taunton Dean in, I remembered and found them again, so quickly popped them in here. I think that was about November last year. And I can see 3 up. Fab stuff. Oh, this light today. So bright. It's making the green positively sing, isn't it? The green is singing and the birds are singing. So, like I was saying in the shed, the garden, well, it still looks a little bit like last year, but those little changes are creeping in, and hopefully in another month or so it will really start to look like this year's garden. I need to get on with the work, don't I? Oh, what joy that work will be. Oh yeah, a little bee or butterfly's eye view. So my lovely friends, oh, I can't bend down like that. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to say a very happy cheerio to you all. I'm going to go and get my pruning snips out and start in on the rose, the herb bed, all the bits on the deck. I think it's jolly well near the most perfect day for it all. Hopefully I will see you again before too long. Until then, I do hope you get the occasional sunny day to enjoy. Cheerio.